wake up, prepare your usual drink, perhaps a very strong black coffee or a quick juice from the fridge. Sit down in the kitchen chair and start the day as you always have. But have you noticed that your legs no longer have the same strength as before? That getting up from the sofa seems more difficult, or that walking for a few minutes is more tiring than usual? The truth is that many older people face this kind of weakening and think it's a natural part of aging. However, in many cases, the loss of strength in the legs does not happen out of the blue, and it isn't always linked to a serious illness. Sometimes it is silently fed by habits that are repeated every day, especially first thing in the morning. I'll tell you a true story. Mr. James is 71 years old. Every morning, he religiously drank 2 mugs of strong coffee and said that it woke him up for life. But over time, he began to experience muscle pain, frequent cramps, and his legs became more unstable. What seemed like a harmless ritual was actually contributing to the loss of strength he feared so much. Hello, I'm Dr. Megan Blake, and in this video, we're going to talk about the drink most often consumed in the morning by the elderly, and how it could be negatively affecting their muscles, their circulation, and above all, their independence. But calm down. We're also going to show you what you can drink instead, with simple and affordable alternatives that will do your body good, without giving up the pleasure of a good start to the day. If you also care about your health, your autonomy, and want to live stronger for many years to come, take advantage of this and stay with us here on the channel. With each video, we bring you content that has been lovingly thought out, like a conversation between friends, and always with a focus on your quality of life. As we get older, a lot changes in our bodies, and one of the first to show signs is the strength of our legs. It can be something subtle, a little more tiredness when climbing stairs, difficulty standing for long periods of time, or even that insecurity when you get out of bed in the morning. But behind these small signs, there is something important: the natural loss of muscle mass, a process called sarcopenia. After 60, we lose between 1% and 2% of our muscle mass every year, and this directly affects our balance, mobility, and even independence. What many people don't realize is that this loss is neither inevitable nor irreversible. On the contrary, with the right habits, you can maintain and even regain strength in your legs. Why is this so important? Because strong legs are synonymous with freedom. They're what keep you on your feet, take you where you want to go, protect you from falls, and above all, keep you active, present, and confident. That's why taking care of your legs goes far beyond their appearance. It's a direct investment in your quality of life. And what you do in the early hours of the day, that morning drink, for example, can have a huge influence on this process. You're going to understand what this very common drink is that, despite seeming harmless, could be accelerating muscle loss without you even realizing it. Let's talk about the morning favorite, coffee. Yes, coffee is present in the routine of most elderly people. Strong, warm, comforting. Many people say they only really wake up after their first cup, and there's no problem with liking the taste or the tradition. The problem lies in the quantity, the time of day, and, above all, what it is replacing. Coffee in itself is a stimulating drink. It activates the nervous system, increases alertness, and even has some benefits when consumed in moderation. But when it becomes the only drink in the morning and comes before water, before food, it can promote dehydration, something extremely dangerous for the elderly. And do you know what dehydration does to your body? It impairs blood circulation, increases the risk of cramps, reduces muscle flexibility, and even impairs the absorption of important nutrients such as calcium and magnesium. And all this contributes directly to that silent symptom we talked about at the beginning, weakness in the legs. What's more, drinking too much coffee on an empty stomach can lead to irritation, anxiety, and even accelerate the loss of lean mass over time, especially if it's accompanied by habits such as skipping breakfast or not drinking water when you wake up. That doesn't mean you have to give up coffee, but maybe it's time to rethink the way it appears in your routine. Below, you'll understand what really happens to the body when this drink is consumed in the wrong way, and the cumulative impact over time. In the first few days, hardly anyone notices. A slight pain in the legs here, a different kind of tiredness there, but with time and the daily repetition of certain habits, the body begins to show clearer signs. And what seemed like a morning slump turns into something bigger: loss of muscle strength, a feeling of instability when walking, and in many cases, fear of falling. When you consume too much coffee, especially without hydrating, your body begins to lose more water than it should. And water is essential for all the body's functions. It transports nutrients, helps muscles to contract properly, and maintains the elasticity of tissues. Without enough water, muscles become tense, stiff, and more prone to cramps. And it doesn't stop there. In the long term, this constant dehydration compromises circulation. Blood doesn't reach the extremities, such as the legs, as efficiently. And this means less oxygen, less energy, and more feelings of weakness. In addition, habits such as skipping breakfast or replacing a meal with just a stimulating drink directly affect nutrition. And as we know, after the age of 60, the body finds it harder to absorb essential vitamins and minerals such as calcium, potassium, magnesium, and vitamin D, all of which are fundamental to maintaining strength in the legs. In other words, it's not just what you drink, it's the set of morning choices that accumulate day after day, year after year, until your body finally asks for help. The good news? There's still time to change. And now, let's talk about what you can drink instead, and how it can transform your day. You don't have to give up the pleasure of starting the day with something you like. But you can make a better choice about what you put in your body first thing, especially if your goal is to strengthen your legs and preserve your mobility. The first recommendation is simple and powerful: warm water with lemon on an empty stomach. As well as hydrating, it helps digestion, stimulates the liver, and provides a good dose of vitamin C first thing in the morning. This prepares the body to better absorb other nutrients throughout the day. Another great option is natural coconut water. Rich in potassium and electrolytes, it helps to rehydrate the body, improve circulation, and combat cramps. It's especially ideal on hot days or after a night's sleep with little fluid intake. For those who like hot drinks, herbal teas are great allies. Chamomile tea helps to relax the muscles, mint tea has a digestive and refreshing effect, and ginger tea activates circulation, all without the side effects of excess caffeine. You can also prepare light, natural juices, such as watermelon juice with mint, refreshing and moisturizing, or orange juice with carrots, rich in antioxidants and vitamin A. The key is to avoid refined sugars, industrialized drinks, and artificial products. And of course, if you still want to drink your coffee, that's fine, but do it after hydrating, and preferably after a good breakfast. Your body needs energy, yes, but above all, it needs care. And now, I offer you a simple invitation. Rethink your mornings. Small choices generate big changes, and your strength starts with that. When we think about health, we rarely look at the small details. But at the end of the day, it's what you do when you wake up that defines how your body will react during the day and over the years. Drinking something that hydrates, nourishes, and strengthens your muscles is not a luxury. It's a gesture of self-care. It's choosing every day not to accept that your legs will get weaker, that your walking will get slower, or that dependence will become inevitable. Of course, aging brings changes, but it doesn't have to be limiting. You have power over your habits, and just by getting this far, you've already taken a huge step in the right direction. So tomorrow morning, before anything else, remember that. Your body is talking. Listen to it carefully. Instead of the drink that weakens you, choose the one that nourishes you. Your future will thank you. If this video made sense to you, share it with someone dear to you who also deserves to take better care of their health. It could be a friend, a relative, someone who always has that cup of coffee before drinking a glass of water. And if you want to keep receiving useful tips like this, you already know, just subscribe to the Long Health Club. Here, every video is made with care, thinking about your autonomy, your strength, and your life. See you in the next video. Live long, live well, every day.